So I bought this easy MTB bleed kit tool for my Shimano brakes that I put on my Marine San Quentin too. Initially, I was going to have a local bike shop do it, but for the install, they quoted me around 100 to 150 bucks, and this bleed kit was only $25, so I figured it wouldn't be too hard to learn how to bleed the brake myself. The first process, of course, is to take the brake pads off because you don't want them to get contaminated. This was a little more difficult than I thought it would be, but just make sure you have some pliers on hand. As soon as that was done, you install the cheese block that it came with. It's going to look like that. You can use a cotter key to secure it in place. Now, I kind of wish this came with some Velcro, but in my case, I found an old belt that I wasn't using, and I secured the plunger in place. Once I had that in place, I was free to use this Allen key that came with the actual bleed kit to take the cap off. You'd be surprised how many toolkits don't come with the right size for this. Make sure you don't lose the O-ring. If you can see inside, it definitely needs fluid. This cap and cone also came inside the bleed kit. Now, I probably got the name wrong, but this cup is actually super useful to make sure you don't get hydraulic fluid everywhere, and you can use it to actually get the bubbles out if you ever came to it, which I'm not going to do this time, or at least I'm not going to show it. Make sure that when you're doing this, you do things right the first time, otherwise that could happen. In this case, I noticed I wasn't using the right Allen key to actually open the valve, so no fluid was able to go inside, but it did go all over the floor. However, with the right tool, I was able to open it, and after I cleaned up all the mess I made on the floor, refilled the plunger with high fluid, I was actually able to get the high fluid into the actual brake this time. So I don't have a repeat mess, but that just goes to show that it's important to watch what you're doing and make sure you follow every step correctly, because honestly, I don't want to have to clean up again. All the fluid came out on the cup. Put the plunger back in to secure the fluid in place. After you do that, you can unscrew it, and you're going to notice a big difference in the actual hide fluid that's actually in the brake this time around. Perfect, right? As soon as that's done, we're able to put this screw back on with the O-ring still installed. Now, I didn't actually show it in this video, but just make sure that if you're going to do this, you have something on hand in order to clean brake fluid off anywhere it doesn't go. In my case, part of it was the floor, but you're also going to want the actual brake pads itself. If it gets contaminated, clean it off before you put the brake pads back on. Clean the lever itself. In my case, I used isopropyl alcohol. It worked fine. And don't forget, when you're done, just work in reverse to get all your stuff back on there. As soon as it's fully secured, you're pretty much ready to go. Also, don't forget to check your actual brakes before you do any actual riding. I know I shouldn't have to say it, but, you know, people forget. I'm people. I forget all the time. Oh no, this isn't too bad. Sometimes you need a little bit more tools than it's supposed to bring, but a pair of pliers wouldn't hurt. Allen key said wouldn't hurt. Instructions are super helpful. And the actual tool itself brings almost everything you need to bleed your own Shimano brakes. I'm still learning, I'm still trying to get a little better at this, but overall, this is a pretty simple process. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.